Yeah. No, but that was like the thing about Mario 64 when we played that.
R64, I think I would describe it differently. I don't know how. It sounds like you weren't really confident that we would be able to beat the game at all.
I listen. I was
I
not. It wasn't that I wasn't.
Me, my position was that no, I've beaten this game already in this run. I've been cheated. I've been robbed. It's only a matter of time, and that's what made me mad. That's what made me like. I still to this day am not like. I don't feel good about beating Mario 64 that time because I was just like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the highlights, despite the fact that like no one's seen it. Which makes me, it's all right. Someone will see it sometime, I guess. Just like I don't feel like after beating it, like immediately, I was like, I still to this day feel the same way, where it's like I do not feel good about this, even though I beat it and it's done. I don't feel good about it. I still don't.
Oh, I need to head back up to.
Man, we got to the last throw so many times, and just. It was so dumb.
Well, I just don't like the Mario 64 Bowser fight. I think it's really clunky. I get it. Someone who grew up with it will probably be like, no, I know exactly how to do it. And I'm that same way about like Raven Beak in this game, where I'm like, yeah, I beat it. I know how to do it. But every time I play that boss fight, I'm always cheesing it or doing it like on like a fluke, and it sucks. I genuinely don't like that fight, which I don't feel like. That's why I genuinely like Sunshine like way more. I feel like people always say like, oh, Sunshine's controls are too slippery. I'm like, well, fucking 64s are too clunky. Sunshine's feel like buttery. They're nice.
Yeah, one's like, they're very different in like.
No, they are, and I mean, maybe that's on Nintendo for like switching it up so much with the second release.
I think it's up to preference. And like,
I will say I was thinking about that the other day because with Splatoon 3 out now, I think Splatoon is definitely like a weird case where like, which is part of the reason why some people don't think that Splatoon necessarily deserves like another game this close. Is because like fucking
I've never heard of this. I think Splatoon.
There are definitely people that I've heard say, because there are people that view Splatoon the same way that they view Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, where it's like a franchise.
Every
once every console, and it didn't need another one. But here's the thing: one, Splatoon more so than those series, because those series, their single players are mainly just like filler. They're just there to fill out like the concept.
Mario Kart, we all get it. The cups, yes, nice.
Yeah,
it's all about the multiplayer.
It's all about the multiplayer. So it's like doing one every year would only feel like DLC. Like Splatoon not only has its campaigns, but also like, I don't know, like almost everything they improved in Splatoon 3 genuinely feels like stuff that would have like.
I've never heard that, because the way I see it, Splatoon 2's DLC, the Octo expansion was Splatoon 3. Like honestly, it was another game.
It was another campaign. I don't know. It's weird.
It doesn't add.
It also doesn't help that I literally still to this day have never played Octo Expansion. Not because I don't want to or that I did. I never.
Great.
It was literally just when it came out I was broke, and I don't remember why I didn't play it. It was some sort of situation of like me not having enough money for me to be like. I was also, I think, out of Splatoon when it came out, and then when I got when me and you got really back into Splatoon, I had no incentive to do it for the multiplayer because I wasn't going to switch my Inkling to an Octo lane because I like the Inkling design better. And so
also the new people. That's what weirded me out is I had you know what friend I'll be talking about. He was grinding the game like it was like it just came out. And I was like, dude, you're grinding the game, and like a new one is coming out. Like he was grinding Splatoon 2, like we're talking like, okay, we know the date of Splatoon 3, like it's in 3 months, and he was grinding it like the game just came out. Like I think he was around my level too. Like
really, I haven't seen him on.
He was like,
I really have not seen him on Splatoon 3 all that much.
He's had COVID. He hasn't been able to do anything.
Oh, okay.
for
I've seen his girlfriend.
like 2 weeks.
I've seen his girlfriend.
His girlfriend
on
is like
a lot.
the reason why he plays the game.
Yeah,
Not
I've
like
seen his girlfriend
not
on
the
a
only
lot.
reason. Not the only reason he genuinely loves the game.
He's been
just
playing
as much as her.
Cuphead.
Yeah, but no, like he's had like really bad COVID for like 2 weeks, something like that, as of this like session and everything. But like, yeah, like he was going so crazy hard, and it's like, dude, all this progress is going away when the new game comes out, like actually. But at least he was having fun. I just thought it was strange that it was going so hard. But I am so hyped to get like the 4 of us together and we just have a squad.
I've been actually playing ranked again since
The ranked is good. The ranked is, dude, this is the best ranked in like any game period.
They definitely fixed a lot of. Well, that's the thing is, I wouldn't have outwardly said that there was anything wrong with Splatoon 2 ranked, but now they fixed most of the issues that you could have.
But the fact that it genuinely, like, if they added these simple things to other ranked systems, like in other multiplayer.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, yeah,
dude,
like,
they would go so. People would play the frick out of
none
ranked.
of the issues that Splatoon 2 ranked had were like exclusive to Splatoon 2. They were just how
they were
games
just
do
all
ranked.
shooters. They were just like all. I shouldn't say shooter. All multiplayer, competitive games. Like it doesn't matter if it was a MOBA, if it was a shooter, if it was like Rocket League. It doesn't matter. Like they all have like this really sucky part where it's like you could be absolutely insane. They put you like. Either the system is designed to put you with bad players so you keep playing, say one more, I gotta win one, all that kind of fun.
Well,
the reason why they pay psychologists.
And the big thing is that like Nintendo's different with that stuff. It's the same reason why Nintendo doesn't put. Not Nintendo. I shouldn't even say Nintendo. Splatoon is different with that stuff, because Nintendo doesn't view Splatoon as a money-making system in its own. They view it as a microtransaction for you purchasing the Switch. So, like, that's a big reason why it doesn't have microtransactions. They're trying to sell you a $60 product,
dude,
not.
And it would be. It honestly is like beautiful in the way that like, if Splatoon was like most other like games or like if it was free to play, right?
Yeah.
Bro, it's just like, these other companies have to be like so mad to see Nintendo just sitting on the insane potential that is robbing all of the young weebs if they were to make like Splatoon.
Young weeb sounds like a shitty rapper name.
Like just like free to play system where you have to pay for all these different cosmetics and all this stuff. Like, bro, it would go so, like, they'd get unreal money, bro. It would, not that they would need it and not that they'll ever want it, just that they totally could. And that's what is like I'm sure is insulting if you're sitting like.
Well, no, they could. Well, but also like
Activision or something.
I don't know.
Like, I think they're barely scraping by. And
that is like
they're losing money hand over fist a lot of the time.
I think stuff like that is like the one section where Nintendo does try to strike a line between being shitty and being honorable to a certain degree.
I know,
because they did also just retire their mobile games because they were kind of like, yeah, this was an experiment and it did make us a lot of money, but everyone kind of hates that we did this. So we're not going to do it anymore.
The Fire Emblem gacha game was like the third most.
Well, and that's the thing is that it is worth noting that they're not retiring any of the gacha games that they did make, but they're not making any more. And that's the thing. Actually, they did recently announce a store for Mario Kart Tour. So like now, it's no longer a gacha game. You can just buy the cosmetics you want in Mario Kart Tour from a store, and they're getting rid of the gacha game elements like the loot boxes.
I just remember that there was a point where the Fire Emblem gacha game was like it was like third or fourth like most like fastest revenue game or something. It was just like it made It was making stupid gotcha money.
See, and I don't know if they're getting rid of the gotcha game elements in that one, which it makes sense. I mean,
that's what's nuts is when I heard that there was a Fire Emblem gotcha game, I was like, bro, Nintendo actually they woke up and they were like, hey, what if we just want money? And they finally woke up and wanted money for once.
It's one of these.
Now, if only Nintendo would wake up and want money more often, because that would be the best.
Oh, that. Yeah. I concur.
Most people.
Well, no, but like that's like a big thing with Nintendo in general is that like, fuck, do I have power bombs? No, you don't get power bombs for yeah, that's a big thing with Nintendo though is that like, and that's why I always say that like, nothing that Nintendo does, no, I should say nothing, but a lot of the stuff that Nintendo does that's really just frustrating comes out of them not really being necessarily like outwardly like EA types of greedy. Like it's like this isn't a clear scheme to just milk everybody of their cash. It just doesn't really make sense and mainly comes down to Nintendo being stubborn more than anything.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just like it's nearly indescribable in just how like they operate. I just can't imagine. Like, there's no other like that I can think of. There's no other situation where this is happening. It's only them, and that's what makes it even more frustrating. Is it's like everybody else gets it, Nintendo, and you just don't, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like literally every company except for you. It's so weird.
Yeah, baby, screw
Yo! Nice.
That's the one from Smash, bro. You can get an item of, and then it just makes you go up.
It's also her up B.
Yeah, but it works differently when it's her up B. It works like Mario's Punch in Smash Bros. When it's her up B, which is like weird. Wow. Oh.
I guess,
This is like the most overpowered move, though. This move is super good in
Oh,
Super
of
Metroid
course.
because it just turns you into a fucking machine of destruction.
it's like one of the last things you get for a reason in this game.
Yeah.
It's a staple. It's literally a staple of the genre in this game.
The genre named after the game genre. Arteria. Because I don't have a ton left. Like it's like this is like one of my last upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta go get did you hear that Coopersoft lost all of their stock?
What's that?
Coopersoft. They lost all their stock.
Oh, Microsoft.
No,
Okay,
Coopersoft.
I did not.
Coopersoft is its own company.
Did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. They lost like I think I was reading an article where they like lost a bunch of test subjects over it. So that's...
I don't even know what they do.
They make... They dabble in a lot of stuff. The main stuff they do is they're trying to make like neural net shit.
Oh. Well, if you're gonna do that, then I'm amazed that they have test subjects at all.
I don't know. I guess some people want to work for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not at all interested in that kind of stuff.
That's fair.
Like I can't even imagine myself ever being interested in that stuff.
Is it like... What did you think when the space test tried to do it?
Space test?
The Space Tusk. That's what I call Elon Musk.
I didn't even know I heard that.
That's one of the most
he-
controversial things he ever did because it literally,
I know.
he tested
I
it on
actually
monkeys and it
do
fried
know.
their brain.
I actually do know. He's making it not. He's not making it for the common people right now.
No,
In
well,
fact,
no, but
he said that he
wants
might
to.
never do it.
He wants to, and I don't want him to, honestly.
I don't want him to.
I
but
just
he's
watched
currently
CyberPunk
working on-
EdgeRunners, and that show.
Oh frick, no! That show gave me so much anxiety on things I never thought I never thought about. Like holy.
Did you like it?
Oh, it's so good. Other
It's
than
really
the fact
fucking
that
good, dude.
It needed to be 2 seasons, but other than that, it's perfect. It made me.
Did you hear? Did you see like the article that like apparently Studio Trigger CD Projekt Red like literally told Studio Trigger like you can't put lollies in it, and they said if we can't put lollies in it, we're fucking done and we quit.
They're like Bridget needed to happen. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
or,
that's a meme.
no,
Dude, that's a meme. That's a meme all over the internet. Yeah, I heard about this where it's like they had
You mean Rebecca?
Rebecca, sorry, no.
Yeah, she's the best character though. Like especially in the third act.
She is. She actually just is the best character. It's crazy. Even though, okay, my favorite character is this is another reason why there needs to, dude. It should have been 2 seasons. You could just tell they wanted to do a Trigger classic of 2 seasons. You know, like Kill la Kill and.
I mean, technically, Kill la Kill was 1 season, but it was
okay,
the size
Little
of
Witch
2
Academia
seasons.
is what it's like. You can tell it was supposed to be 2 seasons in that vein.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
Well, no, you can tell that they didn't even get enough episodes for the first season. I genuinely think the plot is so rushed and it needed another 2 episodes at least.
Yeah. Dude, no, you could just tell that they wanted it, that they needed it to be 2 seasons and that they rushed like a lot.
I don't know if they necessarily needed a whole nother season, but they definitely needed another like 2 to 5 episodes at
Dude,
least.
I think they needed it more. First off, my favorite character, he's on screen twice, and he doesn't have a scene to himself, is Falco. I love him so
Oh yeah,
much.
I love Falco too.
Falco's the best.
He's the only character. He's the only character besides Lucy that lives. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'll edit in a spoiler thing for this
Please
show.
do. Oh my gosh, don't be spoiling.
I'll edit in.
Watch it.
No,
okay, if you don't, look it up.
This will be my reminder right now when I'm editing this to put in a spoiler thing if I haven't already.
Okay, end this.
Before.
Put the spoiler timestamp here. All right, ready? Okay, here.
Okay, no more
for
spoilers.
anyone who wants to watch the show, please put this in. For anyone who wants to watch the show, a lot of people have been getting like really bad like anxiety and panic attacks and stuff. So has to be an article out there. I know there is, or like look at reviews for what phobias are triggered in this show, because there are like 5 major popular phobias that are triggered and like seriously frick up people in this show. So seriously do that. And for someone like me, where I don't have I don't have these phobias, but there's been times where I'm like wheezing, and I'm just like, this is it was hard to watch like a couple scenes, and I don't have these phobias. So like, seriously, like if you know like you have these phobias or something, or that like there's something that you might be afraid of, just please look it up, please.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it if you don't do it. I swear. Because there's like people reacting that have like these common phobias, like, and then like they get really freaked up and they can't watch.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like bad dreams and stuff.
No, I was Andy literally said that he like last time I talked to him, he said me and Chris were talking about it, and he was like, "Don't spoil the last episode. I still haven't seen it." I'm like, "Oh, why haven't you watched it?" He's like, "Well, because it was just making me feel really down." So I was like, "Yeah, I get that." That's how you.
Okay. Emotionally, also, yeah, it gets pretty crazy in that department emotionally as well. But you know, like a lot of people expect that from a show. Whereas,
well, no, I get that.
There's a lot of people normally don't like think about
I get that with The Boys a
common...
lot. The Boys is like really
Oh,
depressing,
oh,
and
yeah.
whenever I watch
Well,
it, whenever there's like a new season,
the
I watch
boy.
it.
Okay, look, like the Boys is an even different. Is like a totally different case. But yes, I know what you're talking about because with the Boys, it's like even though it's such an otherworldly like kind of thing, it tackles like things we see every day in the real world, and it's like, ouch.
Yeah.
Like it just sucks. It's like it takes everything you see every day, and it puts it in a way that's like yeah, it's just presented in like the media format.
Yeah. Well, no, it was also just it's a very like very like very like cynical of society show and like that sort
yeah,
of.
That's exactly what I mean. Is it's got like that.
It just it's got a lot of vibes of just.
And it's what makes it so so good.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's a big thing about the show of The Boys versus like the comics is that the comics are kind of just mindless like superheroes are dumb and I've heard the comics described as just like the author made his like self-insert OCs to go beat up parody versions of superheroes he didn't like, and yeah, that's pretty much what the comics are. The TV show uses that as like a vehicle to like actually give like social commentary and stuff, which is neat. And I also don't think that any of the social commentary is like necessarily. It does get a little anti like Trump in the third season, but most of it is stuff that I think that most people, no matter what your political standing, can get behind, you know?
Yeah, like celebrity discourse is a big one.
Well, yeah, well, because it treats all the superheroes as like celebrities that act like children, and I think that that's like a very valid like complaint.
Oh, it's beyond valid. It's real.
It's just like
celebrities. That's what makes it so.
Celebrities
like, wow.
do often feel like children with like little to no consequences, and it obviously the show embellishes that a lot with like them being super powered as well, so they can't, you know.
Yeah. It's represented very, very well in a lot of ways. Respect.
Yeah.
Not an easy thing to do. Especially if you're, like the writers got it hard, the actors got it hard. They have to like put on this charm to like make it, like.
Well, and the guy who plays Homelander, like Anthony Starr or whatever his name is like really good.
No, that's what I mean though. Is like there's a lot of work that goes into making it watchable because when you're trying to do something cynical, it's just like. It's just like a few deliveries away from becoming like the worst thing ever.
Well, and what is it? The guy who...
And that's why people like The Boys and Rick and Morty so much is because it's like this is something that you do not see done like well most of the time. Most of the time it falls so bad on its face and like it's unwatchable and everyone hates it. And so when it does happen, it's literally a unicorn. It's such a special thing.
Well, and I find it interesting.
Rick and Morty and them like it's special because like the people that do it right are the ones that stick around so long. Because I'm pretty sure, I haven't watched a ton, but I'm pretty sure. You could help me on this one. From what I know and from episodes I have seen, South Park is kind of like that too.
Yeah, no. Well, but South Park, I feel like South Park is a bit like on the nose with its stuff, but yeah, it's definitely like that too, where it's just
like the people that execute it like they get that unicorn situation of like being able to tackle all this deep stuff.
Well, the biggest thing is that South Park isn't ultimately it's very cynical with like a lot of stuff, but it's also like super hopeful too. One of my favorite episodes of the series is like the one where like at the end Butters literally just says like, because it's like Stan's going through a breakup and so he becomes goth, and Butters literally just says at the end he's like yeah, sure, I like, because then Butters gets broken up with his girlfriend. It's a whole episode plot. But at the end, he literally like says something along the lines of like, yeah, sure, I feel like shit and I feel sad, but at the same time, I'm also like really happy that like something could make me feel this sad. You know, it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel human, and I'm like, wow, that's a insanely good way to look at it overall.
Yeah, if you have the ability to step back like that, then yeah, that is something special.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have that ability. It takes, you know. I don't think I have that ability.
I try to have that. I try to like.
I guess it's something you can't practice.
It's not ingrained into me by any means, but it is like definitely like
just the ability to be like, I know this sucks, but like eventually it won't suck and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if you have the ability to be like in the moment, like this is fine. Later this is gonna be great. You know, some people aren't gonna feel that until like, no, this sucks right now. I'm only here and now, so that's all that matters. Yeah, there's like, I haven't seen a ton of South Park, so I couldn't say for sure, but I just mean like, that's why people like The Boys and Rick and Morty and stuff like it.
I was gonna say something about the Boys though, is that like I find it funny because the guy who makes I shouldn't say the guy who makes it. It's a whole obvious large team of people, but the main showrunner for it came out and basically like called out like basically all of the Disney Plus shows and even like a couple like Netflix originals, like honestly the later seasons of Stranger Things, as much as I hate to admit it, where he basically called out them and he's like you have to treat it like a show. Part of the reason why our show is good is because we treat it like a show. And a lot of like the Disney stuff and like even like once again like the later seasons of Stranger Things is that they treat it like long form movies. So you have all this shit that doesn't matter that's happening in it because they're trying to pad it out because it's essentially a movie with a bunch of fucking filler to make it a show. And it's like no, if you're writing a show, it should be a show. Every episode should have something happening. Every episode. Like,
that is okay. As far as I know, Prime has been very on top of it, not just with The Boys, but their other shows.
Yeah,
they are very good.
Well, like Invincible,
Invincible's insane.
Invincible goes almost episodic with its stuff, and that's the way it should be. It's like if you don't have a single like movie-esque storyline to be serialized storyline to be telling with your show, then you should go episodic with it. Have a couple episodes where it's just character development and a single form story. Don't go like don't pad out your
Invincible is not a good example for that because it's episodic, but literally every episode. This is not spoilers. I'm not going to spoil. Every episode.
I can put up another spoiler warning. Although that will make this.
No. It's not a spoiler warning. It's just Chekhov's gun on steroids, where everything you ever see is very important at the end. Yeah. Everything, literally everything. It's not. That's what's mind blowing. Is every single little thing is extremely important at the end of the show, and it's so good. Dread is. We've talked in the past like Dread episodes. I've talked about Invincible before. So if you've seen them, then you know how I feel about Invincible. Well, I'm gonna stop now.
Invincible's one of the few like animated shows to really crack that like sort of adult audience in the sense that like that's how good it is though. Is that like not only is it a animated show made for adults, but it's also an animated show made for adults that
so many times.
Was able to get like memes out there and like everybody like was like, whoa, have you seen Invincible? Like it was actually talked about for a bit. I feel like the fact that it's animated and people don't respect animation did make it a little bit like more. It did make it fall under the radar compared to something like The Boys, and that does make me. As much as I do like The Boys, I do think. I do think that it sucks that show tends to get more attention when Invincible is genuinely the better show of the two in regards to Amazon stuff.
I think what got its initial kick was that the people working on it are Invincible. I don't think animation held it back nearly as much as you think, but at least I think.
I do no, and I'm not saying I want to be
clear. When Invincible 2 comes out,
I'm not saying it like, but even baby. Amazon put I don't know this for sure, but this is what I heard, that Amazon put the Boys Diabolical, which was also a decent anthology series set in like the Boys universe, but it was animated and Amazon put Invincible on hiatus for just a little bit so that they could make a spin-off for The Boys. And that's what I'm saying, is I just don't think that, like...
Well, what actually happened was that the writers wanted more time to work on season 2. And they were like, well, we have this animation team not doing anything.
And to be fair, I don't know who all animated everything, because to be fair, it is an anthology series, and like that, The Boys Diabolical, like every episode is in like a different style.
Yeah, I think I know that one of the styles is like the studio.
Well, one of the styles is like directed by Justin Roiland, so it looks like Rick and Morty, and like and there was another one. There's one of them that is directed by like the comic book creator, and that one was like one of the better episodes too. Like and that's the thing is like I like, as much as I don't love the Boys comics, like I can admit that like, hey, you know, they did a pretty cool job with that. And I think it was nice that the comic creator, especially since how much the TV show deviates from his original work, I do think it's cool that he was able to like kind of come on and be like, yeah, no, this is what I originally created.
Yeah. That is hype.